Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a watermelon fan. So supplies that you're going to need for that are some type of glue. I prefer stick for this just because it dries a little faster, but Elmer's like school glue would be totally fine. You'll need construction paper if you're going to do the watermelon fan, or if you want to do your own, that's totally fine. But if you're going to do the watermelon, you need at least a red or pink construction paper, white and green, and then scissors, a Sharpie to add your seeds, and then some sort of thread. This is just really thin thread. You can also use yarn if you don't have thread, so that's totally fine. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So you have to decide if you want to do a pink watermelon or a red, and that one was red, so I'm going to do a pink one so I can kind of show you the difference in color, just for some fun. I'm going to put that there. So we have our pink construction paper. We're going to set that to the side for now, and we're going to cut strips of green and white to add to our edges. So I'm going to cut 2 strips of green, and I want them to be about 1 inch wide. So I'll show you that. It doesn't have to be quite 1 inch, but that's a good roundabout to be at. So like that. And then I'm gonna do white strips, only this time I want to do about half the size of the green. So a little less than 1/2 inch would probably be best, but they don't have to be very big at all. Oops. Let me hold these up so you can kind of see a comparison here. But see, it's about half. So then we're gonna glue these to that construction paper that we picked out for our watermelon color. So I'm gonna take the stick glue, and I'm gonna start with the green, and we're going on the very edge. And I like to put glue on both this paper and then the strips of paper as well. I just think it helps adhere a little bit better. And I'll show you this as soon as I get one side done here. Got a little glue, whoops. There we go. And then I'm gonna do the white strip right next to it. Same thing, I'm adding glue to both sides, both the strip of paper and then the construction paper. And then if you have a little excess, you can just cut that off, but that's what we're looking for. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this end. So flip that around, oops. Glue on the construction paper, glue on my strip. Oops. Perfect. And then that last white strip we're gonna add right next to the green. Oops. Got a little bit of extra glue on that one. It's gonna stick good, hopefully. Cut that little excess off. Oops. Perfect. So that's what we're looking for. All right, so now we're gonna add our watermelon seeds to each side. And I know right now it probably looks like, how is this going to turn into a fan? But I promise it'll come together, so just trust the process. So we're going to add seeds with our Sharpie marker to each side. And they're kind of like a teardrop shape almost. Let me do a couple here and I'll show you. But we're just kind of sporadically putting them all over the paper. We're gonna do this on both sides. And you can do as many or as little seeds as you'd like. My husband told me, he said he preferred seedless watermelons, so if you don't want to add seeds, you don't have to. Okay. And now I'm going to do the same on this side. So I'm going to flip this over and do the same. And like I kind of mentioned earlier, you don't have to make a watermelon fan. You can get like super creative with this and really do any kind of pattern or detail. But as long as you have like the basics down, you can really create whatever you'd like. Okay, so now that we have seeds on both sides, here and here, we're gonna turn our paper like this, and we're gonna do a back and forth fold. So I'm gonna start here, and I'm doing about the width of my finger, excuse me, as far as the fold goes. And then I'm gonna switch it over and do the same thing. And I'm just gonna continue to go back and forth, back and forth. And I'll do a few here so I can show you. And if you accidentally pull up your strips over here, just add a little bit more glue, it'll be fine. See, we're going back and forth, back and forth. I hope you can see that there. Yeah, there we go. And you want to do the whole paper like this. Ta-da! So once you get it all folded, back and forth, we're going to crease it in the middle so it matches the other side, because we're going to connect them, and that's what's going to make our fan. But before we do that, we're going to tie a little string so it keeps that thread that I talked about earlier, so it keeps it nice and snug in the middle. So I'm going to use my red thread just because it's the closest I have to the pink. And if you don't have the same color as what you're making, that's totally fine. Got a little piece here. And I'm just going to wrap it around a couple times and then tie that knot. And like I said, this is just to kind of help hold it all together. Gives that glue stick that we're using a little extra support. There we go. I'm not the greatest at tying tiny little pieces of thread, so bear with me. There we go. 2 should do. So we're just going to cut off the excess there. See, now it's attached in the middle. So now we're going to fold these together and attach them with some glue. And this part gets a little tricky because sometimes at first it doesn't want to stick. So it might take a few tries. But I'm going to apply glue to this side and glue to this side. Like that. And then I'm going to fold it together and kind of just smoosh it all together just to apply a little extra pressure so it sticks. Put the cap on our glue stick so it doesn't dry out. Knock over the other glue. Okay. And then I usually try to squeeze them together one last time in the middle just to make sure, because we don't want anything coming apart. And then you can spread it out just a little bit, and voila! You got yourself a watermelon fan. Look at that. You get some pink and some red ones. I also think these would be fun decorations, but I think anything could be fun decoration, so I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, if you guys are making these along with us, we'd love to see what you create at home, so be sure to tag us. I always love to hear feedback. I love seeing the pictures that you post at home. I know this is kind of a crazy time for us, so if you can, go ahead and post something, but thanks for joining us as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!